Hey everybody, Derek here to bring you another video for Z Nation Season 3. I have just now finished all of the episodes of Z Nation up to the Season 2 finale, and I am really looking forward to seeing Season 3, how it's going to change the show, and I think it's going to be a great season, one that is going to get better and better as time goes on. I'm really looking forward to it, and it premieres on September 16th. What I want to do in this video, and as we lead up to the Season 3 premiere, I want to, of course, be doing my regular prediction videos based on the characters, the plot line, a death predictions video, a lot of other different things. And this particular video is going to be focusing on Murphy, trying to figure out what is Murphy's plan, what is he going to be doing, and is the group going to help him or are they going to be against him when we come back in Season 3. If you are not caught up with Z Nation and you do not want to be spoiled in any way, then I would exit the video now and come back later, because otherwise you will be spoiled. Okay. So the whole point of the show, the main overarching plot line that we have seen is to get Murphy to California so that Dr. Murch can, in a sense, see him, get the cure from him, and try to make a vaccine that will save humanity. That's the whole point of the show. That has been what has been going on the last 2 seasons, and that's been what the other characters on the show have been trying to do. Now, Murphy, of course, has been a very interesting character, one of the most complex, one of the most mysterious, and really, toes the line between being a hero or a villain, between being the person who can be the savior of the human race, and maybe the zombies too, maybe finding a world where all of them can live together, or, being a total power-hungry villain who wants to take the world for himself despite what other people want. We've seen that become his character over time. He's definitely gone back and forth on both sides of the hero-villain line. And as we go into Season 3, one of the things that we're wondering is, well, what does he plan on doing? Because in the Season 2 finale, if you all remember, Dr. Murch, of course, was in a submarine waiting for Murphy to come. The group delivers Murphy. Murphy goes on the submarine, and he finds out about Zona. He finds out that that's who Dr. Murch represents, a group of billionaires on an island, which we presume to be one of the islands of Hawaii. And Murphy wants nothing to do with that. He basically tells Dr. Murch, look, I didn't come here so you could harvest a cure to help billionaires in, Hawaii, in Zona. That's not what I'm here for. That's not what I want. Because Murphy, in a sense, does realize the powers that he has, and he obviously has a plan and he's going to do something, because what ends up happening is the submarine sinks, and Murphy basically gets away on a boat with Dr. Murch, that one admiral or captain or whoever, and a couple of the Zona soldiers that he has bitten on the cheek. And obviously we have seen throughout the show that Murphy does have powers that allow him to do certain things with certain people. We know that, of course, he's immune to the virus. I mean, obviously zombies don't want to bite him. They want nothing to do with him. Zombies can be controlled by Murphy if they're in a small enough group, and they're not like blasters, or they're not next to something more powerful like Lucy, things like that. We've seen that when Murphy gets his blood, his saliva, or if he bites a living person, he can telepathically control them, as we saw in Murphy's Law back in Season 1. Then, of course, we've also seen that when he does bite people, they change, and we also see that he can control them. We saw him do that with Cassandra, and we saw him do that with Ma and Pa Kettle. That's the nicknames that were given to the 2 individuals that Murphy bit and then gave Lucy to. So we've seen that Murphy does have powers, and we've seen that he does crave, in a sense, power. He does want to, I think, better himself in this world. I think that just based on the person that he was before the apocalypse, which I think he was a businessman, because I remember that he was in prison for mail fraud, I think. So I think it was, in a sense, like a business fraudulent kind of thing. So I think Murphy knows a little bit of that world. He knows how to be cutthroat. He knows how to be somebody that can position himself in a better way. And I think that's, in a sense, what he wants. And if you remember back in season 2, whenever he had his meetings with Dr. Kurian, when he met back up with him in batch 47, and then later on in those 2 episodes with the Zeros, we saw this concept of blends as well as a zombie army, which is what I think Murphy wants. That's pretty much what I've been hearing about, is that Murphy wants to work on Dr. Kurian's experiment, because Dr. Kurian wanted to, in a sense, give Murphy a zombie army. He wanted to be able to give him the ability to control people, test it out, and that's pretty much what Dr. Kurian has been doing. He's been messing around with the virus, and whether that was for a war weapon or something like that is hard to say, but that's what he's been doing. And he told Murphy in batch 47, look, you are the one that's going to survive. Humans are going to die out because of the virus, and zombies are going to die out because they're not going to have anything to eat. You're the one that can survive, Murphy. It needs to be people like you. And I think that's what Dr. Kurian wants. He wants to be able to find that perfect balance, and I think he sees that with Murphy. So if you remember, he ended up injecting several of the Zeros with the vaccine that he made, and it did, in a sense, allow Murphy to control them, but not perfectly. And after a while, I think it wore off. Either it was a temporary effect, or it wasn't the right combination, or Murphy's not powerful enough. I don't know what it was exactly, but Murphy lost control of the Zeros and Lorena and other people. And it did leave them with, pale faces, the chapped lips and stuff, but it didn't really do anything else. So I think that Murphy is really engrossed in that idea of creating a zombie army, and that is what I have been hearing, that is what he wants to do. Based on some interviews that I have read with some of the creators and the producers, they want Murphy, that's what they see him doing. They see Murphy wanting to create that zombie army. And that's what Dr. Murch is for. Because obviously, even though he is bitten, Dr. Murch, it doesn't make her useless. Murphy can still make her do things. And I think that what he wants to do is use Dr. Murch's knowledge and experience, which I assume that she's still going to have, even though Murphy bit her, to make this new vaccine. So, in a sense, he wants to make a more perfect vaccine that would make people, in a sense, listen to him. I think he wants a zombie army, a perfect zombie army. Now, whether that's for the zombies, humans, both, what he intends to do, what his bigger picture is, we're obviously going to have to wait until season 3 to find out his true motivations. But I really think that's what he wants. I think that based on what we saw in season 2, whenever Dr. Kurian wanted to make the zombie army for Murphy, I think that's going to happen. I think that's exactly what Murphy wants, and that's what he's going to do. Now, obviously, if his plan is to get the zombie army, obviously we have to wonder, is the group going to be for this plan or against this plan? I think it's pretty clear. If this is his plan, the group is not going to want to go along with it. I mean, if we remember back in season 2 when Murphy tried this plan the first time with Dr. Kurian and the Zeros, there is no way that the group wanted this. No way at all. And of course, when we look back at that moment, if you remember, the group was not infected with the vaccine. In fact, Murphy protected Warren, made sure that she was not infected by taking the needle and not injecting her with it. And I have to wonder, though, was that really out of good motivations, or was it really just a backup plan? Because part of me wonders if in that moment Murphy thought that, well, if this doesn't work out, I need to get out of here, and the group, of course, is going to, protect me and get me out of here, so maybe that's why he didn't do that. But if it really is his plan to make this zombie army, obviously the group is going to go after Murphy now that he's escaped, and they're going to want to know what he did. Why is he doing what he's doing? And when they find out if this is really the plan, I think they're going to stop him. I think they really want to, have a world where everybody has a cure, but that they can live freely. And I don't know if that's what Murphy wants. I have to wonder if Murphy really just wants to be this all-powerful being that has control over zombies and humans, and, does whatever he does. That's what I really think his plan is. As much as I like to try to find the good in Murphy, that I'd like to think better of him, I really think that maybe his selfishness is going to win out at the end of the day, that he really does have very terrible intentions, that he is going to try to infect as many people as he can, that he's going to go across the place and, take zombies and take people and maybe inject them and bring them under his control, even if it is against their will. I do have to wonder if that's as far as the extent is going to go. But obviously, the group is not going to be for this. I think they are going to try to stop Murphy. And I also have to wonder if, though, the group might have to start working together with Murphy again when it comes to Lucy. Because what I've basically been hearing about with this plot line is that Murphy is going to be trying to create the zombie army. That's exactly what he wants Dr. Murch for. And you have to wonder if he is going to go back and get Dr. Kurian's head that might presumably still be in that box and have the two of them working together. But you have to wonder if maybe individuals, because Murphy has kind of gone rogue, if these other people from Zona and obviously the Chinese are going to be involved at the end of the episode. We saw the Chinese planes flying overhead, Warren's group meeting up with Chinese soldiers. You have to wonder if they're going to go after Lucy, or if somebody in that faction is going to go after Lucy and intend to do things to her, and maybe Murphy and the group might have to end up going back and protecting her from that. That's a very good possibility as well. That might put Murphy's plans on hold, maybe give the group some time to really have him reflect and think about what he wants to do. But it could also indicate that this may be the end of Murphy's character. You do have to wonder if he will get so much of a villain and not be able to come back and maintain a good humane ideals, that maybe they will have to kill him off. I don't know. There's definitely a lot of questions leading up into Season 3 that I definitely would like to see answered very early to see where it's going. But at this point, I think that's what Murphy's plan is. I think that he does want to create that zombie army, just like how Dr. Kurian introduced him to that idea. I think that either he is going to want to infect as many people as he can, or he just wants to be left alone with his little group and keep himself maybe a little bit of power. And either then he wants to either include the group and maybe say, hey, listen, you guys can have all the power with me. We can share this together. Or he might say, listen, leave me alone. You guys go do what you want to do. Try to survive as long as you can. Leave me out of it, but if you try to come after me, I'm going to attack you. I don't know. I think that there's a lot of questions of where Murphy is going to go, but I think that's his intentions, and I think that's what he plans on doing. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that that is Murphy's plan? Is he going to be creating a zombie army? Does he have another plan that maybe I didn't think of? Am I totally wrong? Do you think he has some other intentions? Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to subscribe. I do have more videos coming, and if you have any suggestions for future videos that you would like to see, don't be afraid to suggest them. Have a very wonderful evening, and thank you all very much for watching.